You don't actually have less time than successful people. You have the same 24 hours. But here's the uncomfortable truth. When you say, "I don't have time," your brain is usually lying to protect you. Protecting you from discomfort, from effort, from possible failure. And in the next few minutes, you'll understand why your brain does this and how it quietly steals your future without you noticing. Because the habit of saying, "I don't have time," doesn't just control your schedule, it slowly shapes your identity. And eventually, it decides who you become. This isn't about laziness, it's about psychology. Your brain is designed to avoid discomfort and seek immediate relief. Psychologists call this avoidance behavior. When something feels difficult, uncertain, or mentally heavy, your brain creates a protective excuse. And the most socially acceptable excuse is, "I don't have time." It sounds logical, but most of the time, it's emotional, not factual. And this is where everything begins. Let's start with a simple situation. A student has an important assignment. He has 5 days. But instead of starting, he scrolls social media, watches videos, talks to friends, and when the deadline gets close, he says, "I didn't have time." But here's the truth. He had time. What he didn't have was emotional comfort. Because starting the assignment meant facing confusion, effort, and possible failure. Your brain hates uncertainty, so it chooses avoidance. And avoidance feels like relief. But here's the dangerous part. Every time you avoid something, your brain learns that avoidance is the solution. And it strengthens that habit. Your brain prefers comfort over growth. Always. Not because you're weak. Because your brain is built for survival, not success. Growth requires energy. Focus requires effort. Learning requires discomfort. But scrolling your phone requires nothing. Instant comfort. Instant dopamine. So your brain naturally says, "Let's do the easy thing." And then it creates a logical excuse afterward. "I don't have time." But this is where everything breaks. Because comfort slowly becomes your default life. Most people think dopamine is pleasure. It's not. Dopamine is motivation toward easy rewards. Your phone is the perfect dopamine machine. Short videos, notifications, endless novelty. Each scroll gives your brain a tiny reward, and your brain becomes addicted to easy stimulation. Now compare that to studying, reading, working toward a long-term goal. The reward is delayed, so your brain resists. Not because it's impossible, but because it's not instantly rewarding. And this is why 5 minutes of scrolling turns into 2 hours. But here's what most people never realize. It's not stealing your time. It's stealing your control. Here's a deeper truth. You don't rise to your goals. You fall to your identity. If you repeat, "I don't have time," often enough, it becomes who you are. You become someone who avoids, someone who delays, someone who doesn't finish things. Your brain builds identity through evidence. Each action is a vote. Each delay is a vote. Each excuse is a vote. And slowly your brain says, "This is who I am." But here's the good news. Identity can be rebuilt, and it starts with small actions. But we'll come back to that. Because first, there's something even more dangerous. "I don't have time" is often emotional camouflage. It hides deeper feelings, fear of failure, fear of judgment, fear of not being good enough. Because if you never try, you never fail. And your brain stays safe. But safety has a cost. It kills growth. It kills potential. And eventually, it kills confidence. Because confidence only comes from action. Not thinking, not planning, not waiting. Action. Most people believe this lie. "I'll start when I feel motivated." This is completely backwards. Motivation doesn't come before action. It comes after action. Action creates evidence. Evidence builds confidence. Confidence creates motivation. Waiting to feel motivated first is like waiting to feel strong before going to the gym. It never happens. But this is where successful people are different. They act without motivation. And their brain adapts. Your brain is like a prediction machine. It learns from repetition. If you repeat avoidance, avoidance becomes automatic. If you repeat action, Action becomes automatic. At first, action feels hard, but over time your brain reduces resistance. This is called neural adaptation. The task doesn't change. Your brain does. This is why the first step is always the hardest. But after that, momentum builds. Here's a truth bomb most people never realize. You don't find time. You create time. Everyone has invisible time. Time hidden inside distractions. 30 minutes here, 20 minutes there, 2 hours on your phone. It doesn't feel like much, but it adds up. And your brain hides it from you. Because awareness creates responsibility. And responsibility requires action. Here's the first powerful solution. Tell yourself, I'll do it for just 5 minutes. Not 1 hour, not perfectly, just 5 minutes. This works because it bypasses your brain's resistance. Your brain doesn't fear small effort. And once you start, momentum takes over. Starting is the hardest part, not continuing. Stop saying, I don't have time. Start saying, it's not my priority. This forces honesty, because time reflects priorities. And when you change your language, you change your identity. You become someone who takes ownership. Ownership creates power. Excuses create weakness. Make action easier, not harder. If you want to study, open the book, put it on your desk, remove distractions. Your brain follows the path of least resistance, so make the right path easier and the wrong path harder. This is behavioral design, and it works. If you struggle with this, you're not broken, you're human. Your brain is doing its job, protecting you from discomfort. But here's the truth. Comfort will never build the life you want. Only discomfort will. Growth lives on the other side of resistance. Always. So here's the truth that changes everything. I don't have time is rarely about time. It's about avoidance. It's about comfort. It's about identity. Your brain chooses what feels easy now, even if it hurts your future. But when you understand this, you take your power back, because now you see the lie. And once you see it, you can't unsee it. Your future is built in small moments, not big decisions, not perfect plans, but small choices, repeated daily. So the next time your brain says, I don't have time, pause and ask yourself, or am I avoiding discomfort? Because your answer to that question will decide your life. If this video opened your eyes, subscribe now, because psychology gives you the manual they never taught you. And comment below, what is one thing you've been saying I don't have time for, but you know you should start? Your answer might be the beginning of your new identity. Start today.